keep the thoughts of the Brown University, the victims of Australia's shooting, and our 2 National Guard members. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So we do have a presentation by, we'll go to that and then we'll jump into agenda items. Yes, sir.
I think we have a public hearing in the local law first.
I actually scheduled that for 7:01, and I have the presentation at 7.
You do?
Is that okay?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Look, numbers are hard. I'm a lawyer. I can do math.
Actually, you can sit still over there for now, and
Reading comprehension, I don't know.
your office taught me that one. So for the 7 o'clock, we have a presentation regarding the property, Cavazis Farm, regarding the zone change request, and gentlemen.
Good evening,
Feel
everyone.
free.
I'll try to see if I could make my minute allotment here. My name's John Capella, I'm with J&G Law. I'm here with James Zava and representing the family and the owners of property that you're aware of on Route 94 and 208. What we are here for tonight, we've submitted an application, a petition to rezone the property, and really what we're hoping to do tonight is to maybe get a procedure and get a dialogue going. Your comprehensive plan designated this area as a gateway, and this specific property said your plan found since this area is primarily in single ownership, there is an opportunity to create a planned development for it, which would help you, meet your goals of providing, appropriately denser housing in a village setting, to provide housing for young families, for seniors, for veterans in a mixed-use type of planned unit development. Back in May, while you were going through the comp plan procedure, we had met with a few of the board members and your planner, and presented after that meeting a few options what other municipalities have done for plan unit to provide this. So we'd like to get the dialogue going. Unfortunately, the way New York systems are done, we did have to initiate an action to preserve our rights, but we would certainly be willing to continue to postpone the response time to be able to work something out. We're not looking to overdevelop the property, but we're just looking to work with the village to come up with something that you can be proud of, and the Gazaza family leaving the legacy of the property, and providing the legacy for their next generation through the development of it. So, answer any questions, but I know there was talk of sending it to the planning board if you wanted to form a committee that we can meet with your planner, or however you'd like to proceed, but we would like to, early in the coming year, work towards seeing if we can come up with something that, will work.
So the procedure under the new zoning law is that when there's an application where there's a petition for a rezoning, it comes before us first, and then by the code, we have to send it to the zoning/planning board, and they have 60 days to review, to hold whatever hearings they want to have, and they will issue a recommendation, and then it comes back to us.
Okay.
and certainly the board will take a look at whatever the planning board does. I suspect that Bonnie Franson, our planner, will be heavily involved in the planning board side of things as she did the zoning.
Right.
I have one comment and one question for you. The comment is, in your application, can you double check to make sure you have the right lot, tax lots?
Yep.
The planners took a look at Orange County GIS, and we think that one or both of the lot numbers might be incorrect.
Okay. Check back with that.
I can address that.
Mhm.
This past May, when the assessor for the town reviewed the rolls, they created a specific parcel identification for just the solar farm.
Mhm.
So in doing that, they had to change the designation of the overall parcel by adding a dot, 1, 2, or something of that nature.
Okay.
I can provide the newest numbers, because what they've done on both parcels, the Ossipsack and the Meringaman, is create specific parcels where the solar arrays are located.
Okay. Yeah, if you can provide that, that'd be great. I don't think it's going to require an amended petition or holding up the process. We just want to make sure that we have the
Yeah,
right.
we'll have the.
We just want to make sure that we,
Yeah,
I should be speaking with you.
Absolutely, yeah. This is
Um,
the first I'm hearing it, so.
Yeah, the other issue is we want to make sure that we are not impermissibly segmenting secret here. It is a secret type 1 because the acreage exceeds the limits in there. But we know that we have received, in the past, members of the board have received proposed plans. And this doesn't have it. The current petition doesn't have it. And if there are plans, subdivision plans, those need to be added to the petition so we don't impermissibly segregate.
There's no specific plan right now. We're
Okay.
really just trying to zone it to attract the plans in, you know, as far as seeker, I mean, we'll certainly work, with the board, but, to provide some options to look at the potential impacts of development of that, but I don't have like a specific plan that I could, we've had iterations and concepts of what we can provide with the board, but until we have the zoning to get a specific developer, we're hoping to maybe just set some parameters for development and look at it, examine seeker that way.
Okay, and remind me, have you submitted a full EAF yet?
I believe there was a full EAF.
A full, I know you submitted a
Yeah.
short form at first.
Yeah, I will check.
we-
I think
The
Jeff
planning
did
board
ask
certainly
for
will need a full EAF,
Yeah.
and we certainly will as well, because
Yeah.
it's a type 1 action.
Yeah, I believe we did when we submitted the map and, the additional information, the list of adjoiners, I believe at that time Colliers did prepare a full EAF.
Okay, thank you. I didn't remember back. Thank you, trustee Jacaruso. All right, that's all the questions I have for now.
Okay. So with the board then, you'll
We're
refer
going
to the
to
planning
do a
board.
resolution
Okay.
at this point, and then you will refer to the planning board and zoning board, and then we can, at that point, set up a date
Sure.
and have that meeting.
Great.
And just for clarification, the planning board and the zoning board are a single board. They serve both functions. They have one night a month, I believe, is planning board, one night a month is zoning board. Is that correct?
Correct.
But they are the same board. So if I use ZBA interchangeably with
Okay,
planning
yeah,
board,
it
it's
was
only
a little
because the
confusing.
planning board has been
Although,
merged
Chris,
into the zoning board.
You had stated that because we dissolved the planning board, I don't know if we could reference planning board or if it's just one combined board.
It's, so
There's a
the
legal-
technical name in the local law is the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeal, the Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Washingtonville. That's a single board.
And we've been calling it the PB/ZBA.
Yeah. Legally, it's a zoning board,
Right.
but they serve both functions.
Right. Seven-member board,
Mhm.
2 different nights a week. When it's a planning board
Nights,
application, they put on their planning board hats. When it's a ZBA application, they wear their
Mhm.
zoning.
Okay. Well, thank you very
Thank you
much,
very much. I
and look
appreciate
forward
that.
to working with you and have a happy holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Take care. We'll talk.
So with that, make a motion for resolution that the village board of Washingtonville convened on December 15th at 7 p.m. for the following resolution that is duly offered and seconded. Resolution to refer Kazaz's zoning amendment petition to the village of Washingtonville Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion. Do you need a roll call for this one?
I don't
Doing a
know,
roll call.
not for this.
No?
No.
Okay. Makes sense. Alrighty.
This is effectively pro forma under the code. The code requires this anyway.
Okay. So any questions or comments at this point? If not, all in favor?
Question.
Okay, motion passes 5-0.
Just a question, Tom, what is it zoned now? What do they want it to be zoned to
It was zoned,
after
AR.
it-
It's-
RA,
Originally
yeah,
it was zoned,
before,
pardon,
before it was RA,
RA,
and then after
The new
the
zone
comprehensive, you
is-
did it,
is a
AB, I believe.
Maybe.
And now-
agricultural business.
and what are they looking to move it to now?
Well, that was part of the, actually, that was one of my questions, because I'm not really clear. There's a zone that we don't actually currently have. What can be built, what can't be built. Clearly, we can see what can be built in the AB zone. So if we're looking to rezone, I don't know, Jim, do
It's
you want to?
it's effectively R10 with an overlay.
Yeah, it would be an R10. We change it to R10 with an overlay district for planned development.
So PUD. A PUD.
A PUD.
Planned unit
Plan-
development, yeah, they're called different things in different zones. I don't know what your zoning code refers to it as, but as in the master plan talked about a planned community because of the size and the single ownership. And so that's what the petition technically requests, the R10 district with an overlay.
Does that answer your question?
Alright, so that passed without any issues. So now, being a little after 7, we have a motion to open the public hearing regarding local law number 6, code codification of the Village of Washingtonville. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion from have Donna, second. It will be Susan. All right, any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Okay, public hearing is now open for any comments in regard to the codification. I think we went through that in some depth at our last meeting, and it's basically the joining of the old code and the updated codes that never really made it to the codification process. And this is getting us there to get a single book created.
Mhm. That's right. There's going to be an updated code book.
Correct.
The code book that we're adopting now is updated as of 2015, which was when General Code last compiled the code book. They also have with them all of the subsequent local laws. And they will update, after we pass this, they will update E-code with all the new local laws so that the online code book will finally be up to date.
Great. Okay. Any comments from the audience? If not, then I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Have a motion, please?
Motion to close.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. So with that, I have a resolution for the Village Board of Village of Washingtonville, New York, conveyed on December 15th at 2025 at 7 p.m. Resolution of the Village Board setting a public hearing for local law number 6 of 2025 and adopting revised and recodification of the code book. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Donna, second, Steve. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Okay, thank you. Now we'll move back up to public comment on agenda items, if anybody has anything. Paul?
The one announcement you're having is the driveway expansion requires no permit with change in the law, or?
Nope, it's really just to, as a reminder through the winter months, and as we get to spring, we'll make another announcement, to just advise residents that may be new, that it requires a permit to have the driveway widened, because we do have some examples of no permits being done, driveways being widened, and basically knocking out the curbs, breaking them with who knows what, and, you know, not properly being complete or being done correctly.
Same law, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed with the law, it's just a matter of letting the residents know that that's, you know, tonight was an opportunity to say something, and we'll be doing it again in the spring, because what we're doing, here's the predicament, right? You come across a house and you know that the driveway curb apron is in bad shape, or somebody created it by widening the driveway. So without a permit, then you would say, well, who's gonna pay to widen or take care of the curb? And we can't really at that point say, unless the person has lived there since, you know, the house was built, then we can say, yeah, you're responsible for that portion of the driveway apron that's damaged because you didn't get a permit. So we're just trying to catch up on that type of stuff and make sure that the residents are well aware that you need a permit when you're gonna widen the driveway and get, you know, and it's reviewed by DPW. We have money in escrow to make sure that everything is done correctly, and then the driveway apron is done. Then we just, you know, return the escrow and everything is good to go.
But even if the curbing is not damaged, they still need a permit.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, what we're asking for, right now, if it's a single driveway, and let's just put a driveway entrance as single, some people expand it, right, have a two path driveway into a single lane, some want to expand it so it meets the whole width of the driveway. But at the end of the day, yes, you need a permit to widen the driveway apron.
All right, you remember Andy over there on 12 Newcastle, right? And the complaint that he had with Ken Court?
No.
You and I were on a board, and that driveway, we were told by the person who identified as the building inspector at the time that, there's 7 driveways that have been cut, but we didn't look into any of them. So I was just wondering if it applies to everyone.
It applies for everybody, yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna go around and we're gonna take pictures. We're gonna do a little survey, drive the streets and identify the ones that are cut. The most important thing with that is, you know, again, if I lived there my whole life, it's easy. But if you went through different ownerships, then how do I blame Paul when you just moved in and, you know, Wayne sold the house to you? And it could have been a pre-existing condition, but now you're gonna get blamed for the widened
No, I
driveway.
understand. I just wanted to.
Yeah,
And we have this situation before us now, that's why it's not an issue till it's an issue, and now we're faced with it, so it makes sense to make the revisions.
yeah, and then we'll be in touch with the homeowners, and again, we'll have at least a snapshot of time of where these driveways were damaged. If we find out next year that someone widened a driveway and we go through the municipal search when they're selling their home and we notice that it was done without a permit, then we know, because we'll have a list of everything that was previously unfortunately damaged. So, it's just an FYI to just alert everybody at the end of the day.
So now we revise the municipal, search, form as well.
Yeah, we revise that document, so at the end of the day, besides the building department doing their analysis, so will the DPW take a picture of the driveway apron to make sure everything is okay. You okay with everybody? Okay,
Tom is gonna do mouth to mouth, I think.
your turn. All right, anything else? Yes?
Local law number 5, are you guys gonna schedule a public hearing? Is there any way to put the local law announcement? You have the announcement, you're gonna put the announcement, I know. Can you include the local law itself in the announcements online? so we can see
What
more?
we're doing, and I'll have to check and see if if we did the last ones, Michelle, is that we created, under the local law, that there is adopted and then draft. And we need to dump them into the draft so people know they can go there and look at the local law before it's presented, either at the public hearing or at the point we're at the public hearing and we're ready for a resolution to potentially adopt. So we just did that as of our last meeting, so we need to get the documents uploaded with this announcement that we're gonna have a public hearing. That local law will be updated.
Yeah, like local 6 wasn't there.
No, it will be though, because we're gonna do the announcement for local 6,
No, for 5.
I'm sorry, for 5. And then we're going to, then we'll upload that into the draft portion of the local law.
Gotcha.
Although
On the
to be
website.
fair, I think the law we passed today was local law number 5.
5, yeah.
And then the filming will be local law number 1 of 2026.
Correct.
Because it's changed, yeah.
Said we passed 6 today. This says 6.
It says 6, it's actually number 5, because number 5 was gonna be the filming law.
I think we should re-vote on it, just to double check and clarification.
All right, so this one's 5.
Yeah.
He said it's okay.
Okay.
6 would be.
Next question, on the resolution on the fireworks proposal and date. Is
Mhm.
that something we got the grant for on the further resolution to pay for the fireworks? Or is the event committee paying for the fireworks? How's this working this year?
The fireworks comes out of our budget. It's our event, but the event committee obviously takes care of all the food vendors and vendors that are selling things. Vernon has already submitted the grant to Orange County for, well, we will be doing Orange County when that's available. And then Green County Bank, we've already submitted that request for grant money for the fireworks. So it just helps us pay for it at the end of the day. And the fireworks will be on the Friday the 3rd. And you just need to, seems kind of crazy, it's December, November, but we gotta book it for next year to make sure that we get the dates we're interested in. You know, it is the 250th birthday of the United States of America, and everybody's, you know, really getting on board with all of that, so. That was really just to bring that up to the floor. Anything else? Okay.
What's the amount of fireworks proposal?
Just about 15 grand. Yeah. The firework guy said we wanted to add a little bit more, because if it's our, you know, 250, but he said the percentage of the increase of the 5 grand, it was like, we're between 9 and 10,000, it's been normally. So this year we'll get a little bit more fireworks, a little bit more length, but he said a lot of it was due to increase in the tariffs and those types of things where the costs have gone up. I don't know, somebody's music. Is that a phone?
Not mine.
Somebody's in the building.
I don't know, but kind of spooky. Okay, we'll ignore that.
It's better than music I listen to.
Anything else?
Where's it coming
Okay.
from?
All right, we did that, we got that, we got that. So, took care of number 1. Number 2, we just kind of discussed. I don't know if you want to report on anything, or you just want to make a statement that on the Green County application for this.
Submitted it for 2,500, hopefully we get it, and we'll take the files.
Perfect. Driveway expansions, we've covered that, unless there's anything new on that. The paper documentation archival proposal, we did go out and research several different companies. The one that came back, I want to say the strongest is the name of the company is GRM, and their fees are very, very reasonable for storage of approximately 250 boxes to start type of banker boxes that we could now start to organize and archive our old paper materials and put them in storage with a purge date between finance, payrolls, local laws, minutes, you name it. We have a list. Michelle has been attending those archiving meetings and has a list broken out, so we'll now be able to go upstairs and start sorting everything out and getting everything into the boxes. Once it goes to this storage unit company, then it's barcoded, and if we need a AP report from whenever, and they'll go to the box, they'll pull it out, and they'll scan us the data, unless we want the actual hard copy. So we're finally getting off the ground on that, so that's good. I know it's not on the agenda, but while I'm thinking about upstairs, we also had the structural engineering company came back. They did their walkthrough just before Thanksgiving, and we're waiting for their report. So as soon as we get that, we'll be sharing that with you as well. Okay. Number 5 is the Woodfield Park Survey that was done. I don't know, Vern, if you want to jump in on that, but basically, we were interested in getting some feedback from residents. We've kind of kicked some things around, and I think we're kind of landing in the same space. But the priorities that came back from residents was basically potentially a skateboard, basketball, and an updated playground. So we'll be taking a look at those 3 areas through the winter months and hopefully be prepared by spring to address potentially the park upgrade with the playground. Basketball will be pretty simple because the surface is already there. We can install the poles and backstop. We need a potential fence around it. And I guess then you just go into bid or figuring out the type of skateboard equipment that we would want on the 50 by 50 square. So that'll more to come on that as we move down the line. Ice skating proposal. We've been talking about ice skating, and we've kind of changed gears. Vernon went out and started to do some research on surfaces that are synthetic. And we found a number of different companies and different applications for the synthetic, I'll call it ice, which is basically resin-type plastic and a polymer that's super, super hard. You wanna?
We reached out to 3 different companies. Unfortunately, it's kind of late in the season. Usually these items are ordered late summer, early fall to be delivered for winter. So right now, we're kind of holding off to possibly next year, because we're not going to get it in time.
Right.
When I grew up, we used to play on the lake.
Yeah.
Why can't we just regulate the lake?
We
Test
talked
the ice,
about it.
let kids go in the lake. It's free.
We could, but the problem is we're
Monroe does
finding.
it. Monroe does it.
Yeah, no, I mean, if the lake was frozen, it'd be great. The problem is, like today, or this past snowstorm, you get umpteen inches of frozen.
Kids get out there and shovel. They want ice like we did. I'm like,
Well, no, I totally agree with you, and we talked about it last
did.
year,
We
and we were
scoped it
kind
out.
of ready, we scoped it, we figured, pass to get onto the ice. But last year, except for probably portions of January and February,
so
there was
what-
no ice. And that's the issue. This stuff is safer. We didn't even touch calling the insurance company yet to see what the liability would be in respect to adding anything to what we already pay. So we thought it was a really good option just to investigate. It seems really interesting. You can skate on it with your own skates. It's not special skates.
That's
And we
a
figured,
lifetime of 12 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's something we can put in.
No, the lake is free.
what's that?
The lake is free.
Yeah.
But not really, because now we're talking about paving an area, clearing out an area, and then we got the growth.
It was never paving there. We just walk
Right,
through the
but
weeds and you
it's
get on the
different.
lake.
Right, but you can't just go onto into the water at this point because of all the growth.
If
So
it's
that would have to
frozen,
be cleared, then
if
we
it's
ended
frozen,
up
you'll
with.
get on that lake, I guarantee you.
What's that?
If it's frozen, you get on that lake. I'll show you. I'll take a picture in the note.
Okay. I just don't think it's frozen to skate on. That's the only
Not yet, but it will be.
negativity. Right. And that's the difference between something that's like this, that you don't have God forbid, an opportunity to fall through the ice, someone's gotta go out there and drill it to make sure it's safe, we put your flag, just like Monroe did, I mean, I've skated over there,
We should
for
do the one
years,
next to the
but-
dog park too.
and they're
Swamp.
not doing it any longer, so I don't know if, you know, what really happened down there, we could reach out to them and ask, but, you know, if I was up in White Lake, I'd say, no problem. Ice will be, you know, 2 feet thick and everybody's ice fishing but just to get the ice, it's minimal time. So we're just looking at it, we think it's, you know, a good possibility, and if we have the funding, then, you know, we'll dig into it a little deeper and see what we can do.
What kind of prices were you finding?
It goes from roughly 28K to.
Over 100.
For what size? What size?
50-person rack.
50
50
person?
person, so it's like a 60,
2,200 square feet.
2,200 square feet. Yeah, they were
Where we
proposals, they
gonna
were
put it?
60 by 40.
Over at Woodfield.
It's
Again, we put the
modular.
survey out, we're getting feedback, you
Ah,
know, the public
I'm just
survey.
asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be there only because the surf, we don't, pickleball courts, we have too many fences and they're actually cemented. So Woodfield would be nice because it's basketball, we could have a removable fence if we wanted to separate that from the skateboard equipment could be removed. The panels, they're, you know, the one company at least we looked at, the panels are 4 by 8, they're about 80 pounds apiece. They groove together, you know, it's a rubber mallet, just making the connections. You know, we've talked to other municipalities, they find it to be not difficult. Some municipalities already either added on to what they bought or bought another set for a different area in their town. And they say that people love it. And so I mean, good God, if you had something in the space, you could leave it 12 months out of the year. People could ice skate in the summertime if they wanted to, if you had the space. But, you know, we're just, it was an interesting idea, and we're just pursuing the thoughts.
Plus you'll have people from other communities, if they know you have an ice skating rink, you know, you gotta take that into consideration
Of
too.
course, well, they come with, they take, you know, they'll come and be at the dog park once in a while, they'll come down
Yeah.
and they'll play pickleball. I mean, and you know, to sit there and police it, as long as our residents are using it, and it's not a big problem, you know, it's there for the kids, it's for adults who wanna skate and have fun. So we'll keep you updated on that. The New York State budget, we brought up that situation with AIM. We were just notified that, you know, there was like a 15-year drought. Nothing was really being done with it. This year, they finally included a $50 million increase in unrestricted aid for city, villages, and towns. So we will be talking to our legislator and our senator to see, and our assembly persons to see how we can take advantage of some of this money. So that's a bit of good news there. Just a reminder again for the Planted Tree Program and the Veterans Banner Program. People are still enrolling in that, which is great. Obviously, planting trees, we'll be tackling that first thing in spring. We had a couple of trees not make it through the summertime, so there's a number of trees that will be replaced in the spring by the nursery company at no charge, which is nice of the gentleman to do that. So again, for anybody that's interested, you know, please contact the Village Hall and we can help you out with the paperwork if you're interested. Next is the New York State DASNY grant for the crosswalk systems that you kind of see around different communities now. We put in a grant for 5 systems, and we're in the final steps where finance is reviewing it, and hopefully we'll get the approval, you know, within a month or so. Again, by spring, we'll be able to start to install these. We've already talked about the NINECOM AIM program, that's all good. So that just really brings us now to our normal reports for building department, police, grants from Vernon, and water and sewer, so without further ado, Don?
Building department, I did not get an update. I did not get my bi-monthly, but inspections are moving along. The venue were completed. They moved on to restaurants. Somebody asked last meeting about the grease traps. Paul, you? Yeah, they are required and they are inspected, so yes. Most of the restaurants, I believe, are completed. Moving on to the businesses and any failed inspections, that's on the agenda for the second week in January for the next cycle. What else? We have a new business that just opened in Brotherhood Plaza, a chocolate, Sarone's Chocolate. Stopped in there this weekend.
Nice.
Looks empty, but boy, he's got a stash.
Really? Good stuff?
He poured out half his inventory.
Nice. Good.
He's trying to, I told him he should really get involved with the chamber.
Good.
And he wants to do a ribbon cutting, but he's got some personal stuff going on right now. But the guy lives in Goshen. He's hoping to succeed here.
Great.
We wish him the best.
Sounds
This
wonderful.
line is coming up.
Good idea.
We're still trying to find out some of the questions we have for Pyramid regarding their requirements for
Signage.
their signage. Working on that.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Steve, anything on police?
Not much, just the 2 new officers we hired that finally started their academy training, and that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing really has been changing.
Good. I know we've covered some grants. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, we have the meeting this Wednesday for the police grant and the conservation grant. That's what we have.
I really like that new company.
Okay.
Really good group. Okay, next would be water and sewer, Susan?
We have installed to date 418 of the new meters. Tomorrow, the past due letters will be going out. Cheryl, our new clerk, is really doing a smash-up job. And as you know, we've been working to identify parcels that could be, should be, aren't being with the facility use charge. To date, I have found a total of 22 parcels. Of those 22, 14 are not being charged at all. There's 1 or 2 more that I'm still trying to trace out. And then the board, I will look at the economic impact for our bond that we have to pay on that, out of that facility use. We are in the process of finalizing our next year budget for the water and sewer. The good news is it does not look like we are going to have to raise rates next year.
Good.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Good.
We sharpened the pencil a lot.
Yeah, we are, again, with grants going out, as we've been mentioning, as the cycles come around, we will be going out for the grant for the maintenance of our 2 water towers, because that is very extensive. That was almost just shy of $1 million just to do those 2 maintenance. And also, we have also mentioned the wells that we're trying to develop, either partly at Spindler, but we're working on the High Grove wells. Those tests came back positive in the sense that the water quality was good. 1 well was a little bit cloudy, but I think overall the test came out okay. So we're working with the engineering firm, and we're going to be probably moving on to the next step so we can start to develop the plan of how we're going to connect the wells to either a well house on site or take advantage again of the concession stand garage area that was developed for the contact and pump controls and all that other good stuff. So that'll be the next wave as we move down that road. Okay. And anything else from the board? Michelle, you have anything?
No.
No?
Okay.
All right, so we'll jump into the resolutions. Resolution 12-191 to adopt the firework proposal and date for the fireworks on Friday, July 3rd. Have a motion?
Motion.
Steve, have a second, please?
Second?
Susan, any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12192, schedule a public hearing date on January 20th for local law, and that'll be actually local law number 1 of 2026 for filming production in the village of Washingtonville. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Vernon, second. Steve. Any questions, comments? The only comment I have is, today we actually met with a film production company who is doing a, I'll call it a Christmas story movie, Hallmark, similar to that, which will be for next year, but they want to utilize areas of the village for their production.
Vinnie?
Just from experience, in New York City, when these film crews come in, they bring all their catering, they have to feed, by union laws, they're feeding all their people, extras, whatever. I haven't seen the law, it should be a requirement that they use local establishments. Because they will come in here with establishments from Connecticut, especially the one in Jersey, he'll come in from Jersey, because they use the same crew every time. You should put in the local law that they use a local establishment, that way the money stays within the village.
Good point. Very good. Thank you.
Just speaking from experience.
Yeah. I don't think there's any of that in there, so we'll have to add it. You can make a note of that, Mr. Attorney. Thank you, sir. Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Resolution 12193 to approve any member of the village board wishing to attend the NICOM winter legislation session in Albany, New York from February 1st to the 3rd. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Donna, second, Steve. Any questions, comments? And all the agenda and all that information is online, et cetera, so. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12194 to approve the archiving and storage of village documents to GRM, not to exceed a monthly fee of $150. Have a motion?
Motion.
Vernon, second?
Second.
Steve? Okay, any questions, comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 12195 to approve the Greene County Bank grant submission for fireworks event. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second. Steve Pressure? Presser. I always say that, don't worry about it. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Let's see, resolution 12196 to approve the surplus of Police Department 2014 Ford Inceptor sedan, mileage 97,261. The VIN number is FAHP2MK3EG161632. No longer has any value, and we'll contact the
Motion.
auction. Thank you. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Steve on the motion, Susan on the second. Any other questions or comments on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. And let's see, resolution 12197 to authorize the budget transfers and amendments as necessary to effect transfers of funds and to pay the warrants. Have a motion?
Motion.
Steve, second?
Second.
Donna. Any questions or comments on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. Okay. Let's see, did we? That we already accomplished. That's
You
good.
guys, the abstracts are signed.
Yep, yeah, I have the abstract right here. I'll share that with you.
Again,
All right.
Well, you can do it now. You should be doing it. Sit down there.
It's wrong anyway.
All right.
It's got two different columns on it.
And is that any public comment on non-agenda items? Okay,
Just one, that last meeting we discussed about the snow, with how we're gonna clean up the cul-de-sacs again. You said we're going back to the old ways, pushing in the middle. They must have not got that memo. We talked about cutouts and people damaging the curbs. Our own DPW's out there banging into the curb and they're just crumbling apart. They're pushing snow up on the properties and damaging property owners' property.
is this on your cul-de-sac or other, that's yours?
I got video.
Okay.
You know, 5 o'clock in the morning, I hear the thing slamming on the curbs. And I go out there and look, and what are they doing? Same thing as last year.
Can you send that to me, Vinnie?
Sure.
Your video?
Yeah, I got a clip of it.
Can you? Because I'll share it with our DPW
Yeah.
superintendent.
Yeah, we use curbs already. We don't need to add more to the plate.
Listen, like I said, I want to bring it to his attention, I want him to see.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, from our emails, disappointing that we didn't have a budget presentation tonight. You said that the person who identifies as the treasurer, had previous engagement, but this was scheduled a year ago, these quarterly reports. And this would have been the month of the quarterly report.
Yeah, unfortunately, she had a personal thing that she had to take care of tonight, and we'll
Okay.
schedule it for January.
Didn't you hire an assistant treasurer that who could have possibly gave the report?
No, we hired I'll describe it as a bookkeeper, but not
So the
the
title was
treasurer.
assistant treasurer.
No,
Pardon?
It's not
No.
assistant
accounts
treasurer?
payable
oh,
No.
clerk.
no, I know what you're referring to. It's a
Go ahead.
it's a title that was given to, actually, it's our water sewer billing clerk. As
Deputy
per
treasurer,
civil
Yeah,
service.
deputy treasurer.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she's not a treasurer.
she does the
She
water
does.
sewer.
And because there's funding in water sewer and
It's to
working
do with
finance, as per civil service, that's the title we had to give.
So she's not a deputy treasurer,
Not in the sense
but we
that
call it. I mean, I just,
For civil
civil
service
service.
purposes.
okay.
Right.
And the other thing, Donna, you didn't answer me, when are the letters of interest due for the ethics board?
The letters of interest? Oh, we didn't put a closed date because last time, I had to keep reposting it, so there's no, until we get some applications, and I've gotten none to date, so,
You're scared to get fired.
I'm sorry,
No,
you still thinking about it?
no,
Yeah.
I don't want to get fired.
Not gonna get fired. Can't get fired from a
He
job
wants
that
to be
doesn't pay.
CEO.
You'll muzzle me. I won't be able to talk at a meeting.
Sorry, Vinnie.
Anything else? Anything from the board? Yes, ma'am.
Who did the beautiful decorations?
I have to give all that credit to Michelle. She's the interior decorator.
Thank you.
That deer grew up in a hurry. It was a little one over there, and all of a sudden it was 10 feet tall.
Steroids, I tell you,
And,
steroids.
so I don't know where she pulled it out of, but thank you. She did a wonderful job. Gave us a little Christmas spirit and a Hanukkah bush out there, and everything's looking really good. And, wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. I know that started yesterday, and Christmas is around the corner, so wanna, on behalf of the board, everyone here, wishing everybody a very healthy, happy holiday season, and we will obviously at this point catch you next year.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a motion to close the meeting.
Motion to close.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Accept.